On the other side, most people who haven't ruined their life through something regret things they didn't do, regret chances they didn't take. And it's always a good question to ask, here's something I could or couldn't do, what's the worst that could happen? And if the worst that could happen isn't that bad, you might want to just go ahead and try it and see how it works. So my dad's philosophy was always that he taught us, throw a lot of things at the marketplace and they'll tell you what works and what doesn't work, because you can't always predict it ahead of time. So, and my brother Paul is a venture capitalist lawyer in the San Francisco Bay Area. And he said he's seen a lot of business plans and he thinks business plans have zero value. So everyone wants to see a business plan before the business goes in. What you really need is talented people with a heart and passion to do that. And so I would say even at any age, asking yourself, what could I do and will I regret it later? Why not just go ahead and do that? So just take the chance, see what happens, assuming that the consequence isn't going to be on this side, where you're really going to regret doing it because it ruins your life. You know, if you just waste a little bit of time and a little bit of money and it's not too bad, you know, give it a try and give it a whirl and see what happens. So it's those life regrets. And so I recommend people keep a list of things they wish they could do, and then every now and then, quarter, year, look down the list and pick one and make sure they do it and try it. So maybe that's going to see a Broadway musical in New York. Maybe that's going out to see bands. Maybe it's buying a painting. There may be some things that you want to do out here. Maybe it's starting a whole new venture. So, and I recommend, this is the business plan I think you should have. You have some brilliant idea. Try to find an idea. Get a brilliant idea. If it works, then you make money, and if it doesn't, go back and get another brilliant idea. So, the business plans that are any more complex than this probably are not necessary. And throw your shingle out there and see if anyone will do. And I always told my kids the story about the person who was trying to get a job in construction. And he went to the first place and they said, do you know how to use a backhoe? And he said, sure, I know how to use a backhoe. And he lasted for about 15 minutes on that backhoe because he didn't, and of course he was dangerous. And then he went to the second job and they said, well, do you have any backhoe experience? And he said, yes, I do. And he lasted on that job for two days, and then they fired him. And then he went to the next place, and he said, "Do you have any backhoe experience?" He says, "Yeah, I work for this other company over here." And they said, "Okay, great, we hired you." And then he knew how to use a backhoe by then, and he was good at it from then on. So you just go out there. My dad has more letters after his name, CFP, AMS, all those kind of different letters you can get after your name, because he takes the test first. And if he doesn't pass, then he knows what to study. And that's the way he does. So he has enrolled agent and, which is a tax planning expert, all that kind of stuff. Because he'll just take the test, and then if he doesn't pass, sometimes he doesn't, then he'll just go back and he'll study for it. But now he knows what to study, and he knows how hard the test is. So when I was taking all my certification exams, if you needed a 70 to pass and I got an 85, he would say, you studied 15 too much. That was a waste of time. We both have the same, So if I get a 72, then he'd say, that was just the right amount. That was good. Because you take all these different exams as you're going through your certification. So that's the kind of thing that I would say, just do it and see what happens. So again, we've got life planning, wealth management, and once you have your life planning in place, then all of a sudden all of the other pieces fall in place, because now you know how to structure all of your finances, you know how to structure your time, you know how to structure your career. So I'd like to stop now. I've put this up. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, I put a bunch of business cards back at the table. I added up, I tried to add up all of the dollar value for the 52 articles that were in the paper, and the ones that in the newsletter we send out the article that's in the paper. We send out another article, which is a timeless article. There's a video included in there, and there's upcoming events. And it's easy to subscribe to. It's easy to unsubscribe to. But I added up, sort of the dollar value of what we could bring to a small business owner in terms of that services. And it was like between $30,000 and $50,000, depending upon their circumstances of the advice that's in there. And hopefully, just the Virginia tax credits made it worth your while to come today. I will hang around afterwards if you have any questions, and we'd love to get questions for the columns, questions@emarotta.com. Agree with us, disagree with us, throw a new idea at us. We love it. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you.
The presentation was superb.
Great.